Football Queen coverage of the 2019 NPL, NPLW, NPLW season, QPL season. IFCA, Australia's only national football-specific coaching conference, 25th and 26th of May on the Gold Coast. Get your delegate pass today at ifcca.com.au. Play football. Join the team today. Visit playfootball.com.au to find your nearest club. Football Foundation, making football more accessible for every income, every gender, every ability, every background, every Indigenous Queenslander. Donate today.
And a very good evening, everyone. A little bit of midweek football for you. We're at Lions Stadium. The teams are out on the pitch for this round 17 NPL Queensland clash between the home side Lions FC and Gold Coast United. It's Rafe Griffin with you in commentary this evening. The second place Lions hosting the seventh placed Gold Coast United. Well, Australia's only national football-specific coaching conference, only a few days away now, IFCA, down on the Gold Coast, taking place on Saturday and Sunday. And you can get your delegate pass today at ifca.com.au, ifcca.com.au. As we see the two captains and the match officials out on the centre of Lions Stadium, let's take you through the two team lineups for this evening. In goal for Lions is Luke Borean, 2 Andy Thompson, 4 Marty Simic, 5 Tommy Jarrod, 8 Mitch Hoare, 10 Joe Duckworth, 12 Sean Carlos, 14 Jason McQuarrie, 15 Danny Kim, 16 Josh Brindle South and 17 Marek Madeley. The reserves tonight for Lions: Nathan Reed, Adam Sawyer, Chris Hatfield, Nathan Shepherd and Jackson Riley. And Lions would like to thank their sponsors Motorama and Luxury Paints. For Gold Coast United, in goal is Duro Dragicevic, 2 Tyler Wagstaff, 3 Michael Thwaite, 4 Yunya Yabe, 6 Jason Campbell, 7 Cian Cuba, 8 is Justin Mackay, 9 Brandon Reeves, 10 Connor Smith, 12 Braden Steele and 15 Brandon LeMay. The reserves: Harry Saunders, Jaron Peppercorn, Tom Miller, Ryan Kavanagh, and the reserve keeper is Tim Laheath. Christian Rees, the coach of Gold Coast United. Warren Moon, of course, of Lions. And Gold Coast United would like to thank the support of Manuplex and Sports Gold Coast. Our match officials tonight powered by Total Tools. In the middle is Beck Durko, assisted by Oleg Labutz and Alexandru Rasu. As we get underway, round 17 of the NPL Queensland, live from Lions Stadium. It's the home team, Lions FC, taking on Gold Coast United. And first touch of the ball for the Gold Coast United custodian this evening in Duro Dragicevic. Seen the ball long, cut out by Thompson there for the men in orange. Playing it back was LeMay for his keeper, Dragicevic. Using the full width of the park at the moment, Gold Coast United. Ball played in the direction of Cuba. Tommy Jarrod's there to cut it out, and away by Luke Borean in the end. A high ball that Carlos will have to deal with in the middle of the park. Slides past Madeley, and Lions just unable to link it together there in that phase of play. Not quite the atmosphere we had on Saturday night down at AJ Kelly. As you'd expect with a midweek game, small crowd have turned out at Lions Stadium this evening. But for those of you at home watching on in the warmth of your living room or wherever you may be watching this evening, hope you're enjoying the coverage early doors. Of course, as always, you can let us know your thoughts on this game, who you predict to win, where you might be watching in from on this Wednesday evening in Brisbane. let us know on the Football Queensland Facebook comments. And a touch for Borey and a couple of other games in progress this evening as well that we'll keep you up to date with as the night progresses. Of course, with IFCA, the coaching conference on the weekend. A couple of midweek affairs in the NPL Queensland over the next couple of weeks. This week and then another midweek round next week. Intertwined with the FFA Cup taking place. Of course, the Brisbane Strikers already through to round 7 of the FFA Cup. And the Swagger matches taking place from this Friday night through to next Tuesday in the FFA Cup. Free kick for Lions. Looks to be Duckworth who's put it into the box, cut out by the Gold Coast United defender and the captain, Michael Thwaite. Danny Kim rewarded for an outstanding effort on Saturday night against Power with a entry into this week's Team of the Week in the NPL. Absolutely outstanding Danny Kim on Saturday night when Lions inflicted Peninsula's first regular season league loss since May 27. In fact, June 3, 2017. And that unbeaten streak from last year's FQPL and this year's NPL brought to an end. But more importantly for Lions, the gap between them in second place and the top place Power reduced back to 5 points. Yabe. He's got his keeper there in support if he needs. Makwase is putting the pressure on the defender. The Lions have it once more through Carlos. Too short there for Hoare, but good recovery from Lions. It's Tommy Jarrett. Switch of play on the left. Brindle South calling for it. He's got an acre of room to move in for the time being. Slides it through, nutmegs his opponent. Was there a push against the Lions player in Duckworth? The referee didn't think so. And the flag will go up against Reeves on this near side. So second place Lions with 12 wins, a draw and 2 losses. Coming into this evening's match, they're equal first in terms of attack and goals conceded this year. 40 goals for, 9 against. 37 points, as I said, currently 5 points off the first place Peninsula. Can go within 2 with a win tonight, with Peninsula's game against Eastern Suburbs deferred due to their FFA Cup commitments on Friday night. For Gold Coast United, they're 7th with 7 wins, a draw and 5 losses. Not doing so well in terms of scoring goals, 25 scored. That puts them in equal 10th position in terms of the attack, but the defence not so bad. Of course, anchored by the former Socceroo Michael Thwaite. 16 goals conceded this season, the 4th best defensive team. And at 22 competition points, they currently sit 7 points off the 4th placed. And of course, 4th place in the NPL Queensland gains you a spot in the post-season finals. So important for Gold Coast United to remain in touch of that finals position. Lions, of course, victors on the weekend against Peninsula Power, as I mentioned. While Gold Coast United were ahead against Moreton Bay United at home on the weekend, but they were reduced to 10 men with around about 25 minutes remaining. As United go on the attack here. Couldn't link up with Mackay, and Brindle South comes away with it for Lions, and that send-off on Saturday night looked like changed the course of the match. Moreton Bay coming up with 2 goals in the 77th and 81st minute after Gold Coast reduced to 10. Moreton Bay able to claim the points away from home at Koplik on Saturday night in a 2-1 victory. Two-match losing streak at the moment for Gold Coast United, while their opponents, Lions, now on a 7-match unbeaten streak. Touched in by Wagstaff. Plenty of hassling there for Lions, and it's good work, that combination between Kim Hoare and Brindle South. Thompson has arrived on the scene, skims it in, and it goes across the face of goal. The first real shot in anger from either side this evening, but Lions unable to convert on that occasion. So, as I said before, this is one of 3 games in progress this evening. Not too far away at Goodwin Park, Magpies Crusaders have made a trip down from Mackay to take on Olympic. 9 minutes gone there, and it's 0-0. And Sunshine Coast Fire travelled down the Bruce Highway to the Corporate Travel Management Stadium to take on Brisbane City. 10 minutes gone there, 0-0. So no goals in the 3 games that are taking place in the NPL Queensland this evening. Thus far, at least. Here's Thompson. Delivers. Carlos from outside takes a deflection. Keeper took a dive at it. Could have gone anywhere there in the end, pretty much. But a corner, the result for the home side. Corner played in short towards the near post. Here's Kim trying to win the ball in front of Steele. Some complaints, but both players regain their feet pretty quickly. Hall's attempted cross cut out as United look to clear away from their defensive third. Kim with an outstretched foot. Did Madley fringe illegally? He did, in the opinion of the referee. Bit of moisture around Brisbane in the last few days. Bit of rain over the weekend that lingered into Monday, and that ball's crossed the sideline. The Lions stadium surface just starting to chop up a little. A little bit soggy still underfoot, but still an immaculate pitch here at Lions Stadium. Down the line for Duckworth. Madley, and miscues with the inside of his foot, was trying to fashion some sort of angle towards goal, but just pulled it a little. And in the end, no danger for Dragicevic. Sent long by Dragicevic, knocked down by Jared. Carlos unable to reel it in, instead it was Campbell for Gold Coast United, Cuba. Reeves tries to get a turn in, couldn't do so. Gold Coast rescue the situation, LeMay. Quick touch on by Duckworth, and here comes Hoare. Dinked over. Can he beat the keeper? Oh, he had the right eye there. There did Mitch Hoare. Spotted the keeper even just a fraction off his line. Ends up on the top side of the netting though for Lions. Clever work by Mitch Hoare to try and keep the keeper Certainly a test for Dragicevic. Medley couldn't get to it. Campbell, right in front of the Gold Coast United bench. Cuba's on his bike. He's got plenty of place to burn. Jared looks to be, he's got there first, however. Clearance comes from Borean. Campbell again. Smith, it looked like. And over the head of Steele and in the hands of Borean, who certainly had to do more work than he had to on Saturday night. Once again, a fast tempo in this NPL Queensland game. On by Hort, hands go up for offside. Brindle South has remained onside, however. Steele, and once again evades Wagstaff on this near side. So last time these sides met, Lions able to come up with a late winner in the first ever encounter between these two sides down at Coplix at Telebudgera. And Marek Madley, 89th minute goal, sealed Lions the 3 points back in round two and a 1-0 victory over Gold Coast United. Wide of the target. Well, IFCA is just days away. There's limited tickets remaining. You can visit ifcca.com.au to secure your pass. IFCA, ifcca.com.au. That coaching conference taking place at the Royal Pines Resort on the Gold Coast from Saturday morning through to Sunday evening. We're heading down there myself Saturday afternoon. Plenty of good speakers, including the current Socceroos coach in Graham Arnold. Looking forward to that session on Saturday afternoon. A rare incursion for Gold Coast United into their forward third. Great to have you watching this evening, including Keith, watching from Auckland. Matt Smith watching in from Hong Kong. Thanks for joining the coverage this evening, Matt. Hope all is going well over in Hong Kong with your career. And Borean will scoop it up in the Lions' goal. Borean in the purple tonight. Had the lollipop out in the pre-match warm-up. I think he's been banned from having it during the matches now, but the beanie still remains. Here he is again, the charismatic, eccentric goalkeeper. Simic back in the starting lineup for Lions after starting on the bench on Saturday night. Brindle South confronted by Steele. And what will this be? It'll be a corner here for the home side. Andy Thompson looks like this time to come over and take the corner from this near side. Duckworth presenting an option short. Makwase also waiting at the near post. That's where it came, but not to Makwase. It's Duckworth off the left foot, blocked by his Gold Coast opponent there in Cuba. Wagestaff, the other number 2. Andy Thompson denies him any forward progress. Duckworth, Hoare. This is the part of the pitch where it's just chopping up a little bit more than usual. Hoare along the ground for Carlos. Scored the first goal for Lions on Saturday night. On by Smith. Forward for Cuba. Once again, just a fraction over hit for the Gold Coast United speedster. End-to-end action at the moment. Thompson loses out. Madley. Referee just having a chat to one of the players out there that momentarily holds up the restart of play. Here's Thompson delivering in. Nodded away by Yabe. Hoare tries to hit it. Duckworth was standing in offside position, I fancy, but Lions are still going to get the corner decision anyway. 20 minutes into this encounter. Round 17 in the NPL Queensland. No score at Lions Stadium so far. Let's see if there's anything else going on around the grounds that will fill you in on once this corner is taken. Not a lot to speak of around the grounds either, as this corner is nodded high. Kim. And Gold Coast United diffuse the situation. So 20 minutes gone in the other games. Olympic and Magpies Crusaders 0-0. Brisbane City and Sunshine Coast Fire 0-0 as well. And no goals here at Lions Stadium through 20 either. Borean sends this one long. Brindle South in search of it. Can he get there before it gets to the byline? And another corner here for Lions. Might be worthwhile to take a look at the stats and see how they're faring at the moment. Thompson the man once again to take it from this near side. Duckworth again the option short. So this one skied high towards the back post, and that will surely be a goal kick. Indeed it is. So through the first 20 minutes or so, possession running Lions way 65-35, and they've had 7 shots at goal, 2 of those on target, compared to Gold Coast United, yet to trouble the statistician in terms of shots. Lions with the 4 corners so far. Justin Mackay urging his teammates on. Campbell. Now Cuba. A couple of Lions opponents immediately realise his danger and come to him. Mackay. This one, is there anyone waiting there for Gold Coast? It's nodded towards goal. Has it crossed the line? No, says the assistant. Well, Lions survived there. It was off a Lions player, I think, towards Borean, who stuck out the left hand, and he had an agonising wait to see whether it would be reeled back in. We're a long way away from the action, but I fancy that the assistant has got it right as Gold Coast United come up with their first corner of the evening, but you don't often see that type of mistake from Lions in defence. And that's put them on the back foot just for the time being. Looks to be Smith who's the corner taker. Thwaites drifted up from defence with his tall timber. Standing at the edge of the penalty area as corner is swung in, met by Wagstaff towards the near post. VAR says it definitely wasn't a goal. Here's Hoare. The Gold Coast defender, Yarbe, having to send it across the byline, and yet another corner here for the home side, midway through the first half. Luke Boring, as he likes to do, coming up for a wander up towards the halfway line. Maybe he's got a Fitbit on and needs the steps up as it's deflected away from goal by Simic. His headed effort steered wide of the goal. Wagstaff. Almost given away the free kick in the opinion of the referee. Wagstaff was calling for it. Yarbe couldn't get it away in time, and he leaves it for Mackay to play short for Yarbe. Mackay again. Switch a play onto the left. Couldn't reach a Gold Coast United player. Here's Carlos. Good sliding ball through for Makwase, who's one-on-one with the keeper. And Dragicevic equal to the task. Makwase normally deadly in those situations. Just couldn't quite find the right angle. Mackay looks to relieve the situation here for Lions. For Gold Coast United in defence. Just being reminded of an epic game that Justin Mackay played here a few years back when he was part of Gold Coast City. Makwase. Gold Coast City in the third versus fourth consolation final, the Silver Boot a few years ago. Down 6-1 against Holland Park. Then coach Gray Piddock introduced a number of substitutes. They got it back to 6-all at the end of 90 minutes, and then Gold Coast City went on to win 8-6. And Olympica struck first against Magpies Crusaders. 1-0 leaders after 26 minutes. Switch by Smith. Mackay. And yet, a clump of orange shirts, done in white, however. Caroline Ann cheering on the Lions this evening. Great to have your company. So too is Arturo Mahika. And Mrs. Shepherd on board from sunny Scotland. Cheering on Lions, of course, and that obvious family connection with Nathan Shepherd, who starts from the bench this evening for Lions, back in the match day squad. Yet another corner for Lions FC. Lions NPLW team currently undergoing their Wednesday night training on the field behind us. Sitting behind Moreton Bay United in the NPLW, but with a game in hand on their rivals. It's punched away by Dragicevic, and Thompson will get a return effort. Couple coming short, McQuarrie and Duckworth, just drawing out a couple of defenders. 3 in a row for Lions. All good things happen in threes for the men in orange. Duckworth a little bit more serious this time as Lions try the variation. Cross put in by Duckworth, hacked away by the Gold Coast United defence. Kim to it first. On by Carlos. And now Gold Coast United with a bit of room to operate in through LeMay. This looks to be Smith. And corner this time to the visitors. Who's yelling out there? Not sure who that was. Over in the far corner, it looked like. Don't know if it was one of the substitutes warming up, but quite an urgent call to action for Lions there from someone in the distance. Could be one of those nights where things go against the run of play. Exactly that happens. Gold Coast United have scored. Just had that sense with the corner being conceded by Lions that things would go against the run of play. And Gold Coast United have struck the first blow here at Lions Stadium. Plenty of inquiries going on in amongst the Lions defenders. But it's Gold Coast United who has stunned the visitors here first. That goal mouth scramble. I'll pick up the goal scorer for you very shortly. Doesn't matter how it comes, but Gold Coast United have the lead just after the half hour. Yunya Yabi is the man being credited with the goal from the public address system. So, how will Lions be spurred into action? Always tricky, these midweek matches. It's a great leveller. Players, of course, most of them work during the day. Got to switch on for a midweek affair. Simic claims steal heavily. Michael Thwaite asking for consistency from the referee. Beck Durko, as his customary, smile on the face. She's not easily swayed as to how she carries out a match. Just saying, yeah, that corner conceded in messy fashion by Lions FC. Just had a sense that Lions had the 3 corners down the other end and failed to make anything of it. It was just feeling like one of those nights where it would be against the run of play that the first goal came, and that prediction ended up coming true in the end for Gold Coast United's sake. So did you know that IFCA offers discount packages for up to 6 delegate passes? Clubs are encouraged to contact info at ifka.com.au to secure a spot for their teams or coaches. Discounts for 6 or more. Email info@ifcca.com.au as immediately the referee blows a halt to player head clash here for one of the Gold Coast United players. That'll give us the opportunity once again to go around the grounds and see if there's been any updates in scoring, and indeed there has. So 33 minutes gone at Goodwin Park. A goal to Olympic in the 26th minute sees them have a 1-0 lead over Magpies Crusaders 33 minutes in. And at Brisbane City, a goal also in the 26th minute there. And after 32, the home side, Brisbane City, leads Sunshine Coast by 1-0. And a reminder, as always, if you're watching on Facebook, we do take a look at the comments, so let us know your thoughts on this game. Good evening to my commentary confrere. As Brandon Reeves is asked to leave the field of play after receiving that treatment. Yes, my commentator from the commentators community, Kevin Alderdice, watching on from Beerwah Glasshouse FC. Must be a game on the Sunshine Coast this evening at BG's. Good to have you, Kevin. Probably commentating game 5,476 for the season. Prolific in commentary, particularly up on the Sunshine Coast. So a little lull of play has Dragosevic. We'll put the ball back in motion. We're just under 10 minutes from the break. Nunyayabi's goal, scrambling goal, right on the line. It's given Gold Coast United the lead. Looking to go on with the second goal. Simic up against Mackay. Madley comes to it. Freshly shaven. Marek Madley. Carlos. Wagstaff. And then Steele. LeMay for Gold Coast United. Thwaite up against Madley. Oh, he's bundled into the Gold Coast United bench. Tangle between those two. Madley detangles himself. Christian Rees has a few words to say. The assistant's in to clear things up pretty quickly. Probably a quiet chat from Beck Durko on the run to Marek Madley for that little incident. Wagstaff. Quick work by Campbell, but under pressure was Steele. Steele loses out to Kim. Once again, putting in another sterling effort for his side. So just over 5 minutes to play before the half-time break, and despite having a 1-goal lead, It's Gold Coast United who are on the wrong side of the other statistics. It's the score line, it's the main statistic that counts, obviously, but Lions with 61% of possession with 9 shots to Gold Coast United's 2. And Lions also with 8 corners to Gold Coast United's 2. But as I said, it's the scoreline that counts, and Gold Coast United on the right end of that at the moment. Simic takes on his opponent in Smith. Long range effort from Madley, straight into the breadbasket of Dragosevic, however. Smith running onto it is Wagstaff. Brindle South first to the ball, however. Stops any possible raid by Wagstaff down the right-hand side. Away by Brindle South to Kim. Here's Josh Brindle South again. Talking of FFA Cup, of course, part of that very successful Bentley Greens team, 2016, I think it was, that made the semi-final. Lions and Gold Coast United both out of the hunt in this year's FFA Cup. Side call against Lions FC. And did you know that coaches receive 60 continual professional development points for attending IFCA? Enhance the knowledge of your coaches by booking them a place at IFCA. Touch off Makwase. And Olympic have romped ahead at Goodwin Park. 2 goals within a minute in the 35th and the 36th, and they've now gone out to a 3-0 lead against Magpies Crusaders. Another corner earned here for Lions, as Thompson has some complaints about the challenge that was placed on him. Still 1-0 Brisbane City's way against Sunshine Coast Fire, with around about 5 minutes remaining in the first half there. Here comes the corner, it's high. There's an obstruction there against the keeper. Who's the offender? Jared, was it? He didn't think he was doing anything wrong. The referee thought otherwise. So goal scorers at Olympic, Jack Glover for the first goal. Alex Smith with a tap in from close range in the 35th minute. And then Shelford Dias, as I said, a minute later from the 36th minute. So that's Olympic leading Magpies Crusaders 3-0, who are in a bit of disarray at the moment, the team from Mackay, having lost their coach, as well as the prolific goal scorer, Michael Lyle. Earlier in the week, both those events occurred. So the struggle for Magpies Crusaders to avoid the relegation zone, you'd figure, it's just been made harder with those departures earlier in the week. Hoare. Brindle South, it's the onside. Linesman's flag stays down. Good recovery from the visitors, although it's quickly turned over to Brindle South. The Gold Coast player wasn't expecting the flame-haired Lions left back to get in there so quickly. Jared to control the situation. We're about 90 seconds plus stoppages from the half-time break. Lofted high in the direction of Madley. And a corner here for Lions, so the chance potentially for an equaliser before the break. Be welcome if the home side could get back on level pegging with the two teams going into the sheds. This might be one of their final opportunities in this first stanza. So Thompson this time, no option short this time from Lions. Chip towards the 6-yard box, onto the bar by Madley. It has crossed the line. So Lions indeed have found an equaliser before the break. Will Madley be credited with the goal? Cian Cuba and Connor Smith protesting with the assistant that it didn't cross the line. And Marek Medley confirmed as the goal scorer in the 45th minute. So that's a welcome boost for Lions going into the break. A little bit of heartbreak for Gold Coast United, who would have been more than comfortable with a 1-0 lead going into the break, particularly in the way that this match has gone. But Lions finally making one of those corners convert. We're missing a ball. We can't play without a ball. Referee had signalled for the restart. Now we've got two. We've got too many now. So back underway. We'll have Lions got another one in them. Be outstanding if they could take a 2-1 lead into the break. Miscommunication between Hoare and Madley, although it's going to fall fortuitously here for Makwase. Trying to jink and dance around his opponent in Wagstaff. Simic to chase it down. Lions are hungry for another one here. Major psychological blow if they can go with an unexpected lead. Makwase. He's got a dance between two defenders, cleared away. Hoare and Kim put the pressure on the Gold Coast United defender, who is able to clear away. Carlos, he's bundled over. No advantage coming for the home side, so they'll have a dead ball opportunity from around about 30 yards out here. Lions FC. Unthinkable a couple of minutes ago that they could take the lead into the break, but that opportunity certainly alive here for the home side. Duckworth. His left peg in fancy. Will he go himself though, or will he try and work in combination with one of his teammates? Thompson is also eager to have an opportunity just to provide some confusion for the Gold Coast United players. Duckworth steps away. Thompson will take it off the right foot, I should say. And it drifts wide of the left-hand upright. Lions NPLW players just off to our right. They've completed their training session and now turned spectators for their men's team. Fancy the whistle will be blown as soon as this goal kick is taken. Perhaps not. Now might be time for Gold Coast United to get their noses ahead again. Wagstaff running to the ball. Sprinting. Numbers forward in white. Wagstaff able to evade Makwase. And his cross drifts across the goal line. Borey in absolutely no rush to take the resulting goal kick. Let's take a final look around the grounds before we break for half-time here at Lions Stadium. 5-0 Olympic now lead against Magpies Crusaders, so it's quickly turning into a nightmare for the Mackay base side. And Brisbane City in stoppage time of the first half still have a 1-0 lead against Sunshine Coast Fire. Let's see if we can find any of those goal scorers for Olympic. Steve White. 2 and 2 minutes to give Olympic their 4th and their 5th. There's the half-time whistle. Well, very much against the run of play. Gold Coast United scored the first goal, courtesy of Yunya Yabe, in the 32nd minute. It looked like Gold Coast United would go into the break with a 1-goal advantage, but Marek Madley, after a number of Lions corners that they've had in this first half, able to convert one. He scored on the 45th minute. Lions had another good opportunity to take the lead into the break, but both sides will have to be happy with the scores being equal. 1-1 going in to the half-time break. All right, we'll be back for the second half action here from Lions Stadium very shortly. But it's Lions and Gold Coast United in this round 17 NPL Queensland match, locked at 1-1 after 45 minutes.
For White, breaks into the penalty area, 1-0 Olympic!
95 minutes in, and Sean
Ball
Carlos.
right into a dangerous area, and the ball is in the back of the net!
Why do I play football?
Why do we play football? I play for fitness.
Competition!
Community spirit.
It's healthy and safe.
And fun.
I play for celebration.
What's your reason? Join our team.
I think just more inclusion. I think making people accessible, presenters having time for the people who are first time here, just doing it more regularly and trying to make people's experience, they feel that they participate and they're involved in the activities.
Football Queensland probably leading the way in this. We are organising an international coaching conference. It's called International Coaching Conference Australia on the Gold Coast in next May. We try to impress overseas presenters in their European summer break, and hopefully we'll get also interstate coaches and overseas coaches coming to attend at our international conference. I believe Football Queensland will raise the bar in coach education with this initiative.
My favourite part about playing football is that it's fun. Because it's fun and it improves your ability to do stuff. Because it's fun and you get to have fun and meet new people. It's just the game I play and it's a lovely sport. And because it's fun and I'm playing with my friends.
I like to play football because it's a great experience to make new friends.
I like to play football because it's fun, you don't have to use your hands, and it's really fun to play. Teamwork, passing, and to never give up. All that matters is just have fun and do your best.
Now it's in for lovely. rushed and we managed to get our foot to the ball, and that's a wonder goal.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Breaks into the penalty area. 1-0 Olympic.
95 minutes in, and Sean
Ball right into a dangerous area, and the ball is in the back of the net.
Why do I play football?
Why do we play football? I play for fitness.
Competition.
Community spirit. It's healthy and safe.
And fun.
I play for celebrations.
What's your reason? Join our team.
Hit it. That's what I'm talking about.
Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Someone's very vocal there as we come back from the half-time break. The players and the match officials straggling back out onto Lions Stadium. Lions in a final pre-second half huddle as Luke Borean trudges off to the goal that he'll be trying to secure in this second half. Lions and Gold Coast United locked at 1 each after 45. Let's take a look at the first half statistics. If I can put my teeth back in before we get into this second half. So Lions with the bulk of the possession, 63% to Gold Coast United's 37%. And Lions with 6 shots on target to Gold Coast United's 2. And 7 shots off target to Gold Coast United's 0. So 13 shots in total for Lions, 2 for Gold Coast United, and one of those resulted in a goal, a bit of byplay between Joe Duckworth and Tom Miller, who's come on at the half-time break for Gold Coast United. And I think we're just trying to search out who the player replaced was. Certainly looks to be the chat between the assistant and Christian Rees on the far touchline. It's probably going to take us a little bit of time to work that out as well, to see who's missing. Is it Braden Steele, perhaps? Just trying to look across the line to see who's on the far side. About to get underway in the second half very shortly, however. Bit of a false start, but now we're underway. Second half action for the NPL Queensland in the midweek round 17 fixture. It's not Braden Steele who's been replaced, because I can see him out there on the far side. Change in formation for Gold Coast United. Put CN Cuba a bit more centrally. First action for Gold Coast United in the second half, drifts across the goal line. And just checking through the Facebook comments at half time. Got a very unique watcher indeed, if he's still around. Rob Parkin watching on the Marcane 2. It's a prawn trawler on the Pacific Ocean. Cheering on Let's Go United. That's very exotic, Rob. Don't think we've had anyone watching on from those circumstances previously. And Cassie Coyne saying, "Go Uncle Sean" from Phoebe, of course referring to Sean Carlos and Amon Bradshaw. Cheering on Let's Go Gold Coast United as we head into this second half. An Olympic have added another at Goodwin Park misery tonight for the Magpies. Crusaders are now down by half a dozen. Thompson straight to Dragosevic, however. Duckworth looked for the switch of play out towards Brindle South, but there was a white shirt in proximity and decided that that probably wasn't the best option that time round. Here is Brindle South. Kwase waiting. Carlos also calling for the ball at his feet, and that's where it comes then. Quick pass on for Kwase, but he's deemed to be in behind the last defender for the Gold Coast United, and the offside flag goes up on this near side from Alexandra Rusu. LeMay. Cuba. Touchback for Smith. Hoa. On by Kim. Kwase. Kim again. Brindle South. Simic. Hassled by Cuba. Brindle South once more. Forced to retreat here are Lions all the way back to the keeper in Borean. Thompson, yeah, ill-directed by Borean. Brandon Reeves, it is the man that's been replaced at half-time. We've finally settled that mystery for Gold Coast United with Tom Miller in 16 coming on. Free kick against Lions. The goal scorer for Gold Coast United, Yabe, restarts the play. Mackay. Campbell. Duckworth is going to put the pressure on Thwaite. Switch of play by Campbell. Wagstaff, good connection with Steele. Corner here for the visitors. Plenty of corners in the first half down that end of the park for Lions, and that trend might be about to continue for Gold Coast United in this second period. So in comes the corner. Could it be held there by Borean? He's been obstructed in his action by Thwaite, I think it was. I've been meaning to get to the FFA Cup all night, and just to let everyone know where that is currently at in Queensland. Might be easier to go to the northern zone to start off with, into round 6 in the north. And we've got to the crossover stages where the Far North Queensland winner, Leichhardt, travels to the North Queensland winner in Townsville, Brothers Townsville. Winner of that will go on to take on the winner of Magpies Crusaders, who won their way through the Mackay zone, taking on Bluebirds United from Rockhampton in the CQ zone. So Bluebirds versus Magpies Crusaders then takes on the winner of Brothers Townsville and Leichhardt. And that winner of the round 7 game is the one that will claim the one spot in the northern zone and become a new team into the FA Cup for 2019. Claims of handball not given by the referee. And in the southeast Queensland zone, last week we had the Strikers get up over Eastern Suburbs to become the first team through to round 7. So we pause here for Brindle South to make an attack. Strikers will take on the winner of Friday night's match between the Gold Coast Knights and Peninsula Power. And the good news is you can watch that live on the Football Queensland YouTube and Facebook channels. Absolute blockbuster between those top 4 NPL teams. Peninsula on the weekend proved they can be beaten. Tough trip down to the Croatian Sports Centre. So the winner of Gold Coast Knights versus Peninsula Power to take on Strikers, and the winner of that game will claim one round 7 spot into the round of 32 in southeast Queensland. Another match on the Gold Coast on Friday night. Surfers Paradise Apollo and Moreton Bay United have been to the round of 32 before. Surfers Paradise hosting the NPL team on Friday night. Will be another corner. Yes, it will for Lions. It's an interesting match on Saturday night. First from the Gold Coast Premier League up against the first from the FQPL, with Burleigh Heads hosting Logan Lightning. Monday night, Olympic been there before to the round of 32. Palm Beach is an NPL side, been there before. Those two teams take on each other at 8 o'clock Monday night at Goodman Park, Olympic and Palm Beach. As we see this corner drifted in far to the far post. Jared knocks it away from goal. And then the final match to decide who goes through to round 7 next Tuesday night, with Holland Park Hawks from the FQPL hosting Coomera. And then we have our 16s from there that enter into round 7. The 3 winners from those 3 matches go through to the round of 32. We know that there'll definitely be an NPL side in there. We know that there'll definitely be one new team that hasn't been there before. That will be either a Gold Coast Premier League side or an FQPL side. And the other bracket are the teams that have been there before, the clubs that have been there before. Just a reminder about that blockbuster Gold Coast Knights and Peninsula Power on the Football Queensland YouTube and Facebook pages. Friday night, 7:45. I'll certainly be tuning in for that one. For what it's worth, I'm predicting Gold Coast Knights, Olympic, and Logan Lightning as the teams that will claim the 3 South East Queensland spots into the round of 32. Let's see if I'm right. Come about another 3 or 4 weeks. So Smith to have this corner from the far side for Gold Coast United. Punched away by Borean. And then hacked away by Kim out of danger. Campbell will just wait until his teammates have regrouped, and a change to be made here by Lions FC, with Nathan Reardon looks like coming on in jersey 6 to replace Martia Simic. Simic started from the bench on Saturday night and gets through 55 minutes this evening. The ever versatile Nathan Reardon slots into his spot and also takes over the captain's armband. Held at close quarters by Thompson was Miller. Here's the substitute Reardon. Started at centre back on Saturday night before Simic came on, and now it's remained down after that challenge. You don't see Nathan Reardon remain down for too long unless it's a genuine injury, and Mackay is the man that collects the first yellow card of the evening. If you've just joined us, Gold Coast United struck first in the 32nd minute through Yunya Yabi's first goal in the 2019 season. Before the equaliser came from Marek Madley, the leading goal scorer for Lions so far this year with his 11th goal of the season. 1-1 at Lions Stadium in this midweek round 17 NPL Queensland clash. Interesting stat for Lions. All of the outfield players in tonight's squad have scored at least one goal through 2019. And you wouldn't rule out Luke Borean to put one away at some stage. Of course, you can follow Football Queensland on Instagram and Facebook for all the latest football news and events across the state. Find Football Queensland on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at Football Queensland. And just checking in around the grounds at the moment, Magpies Crusaders have stemmed the flow for the time being. Olympic with half a dozen over the Magpies Crusaders, shortly past the hour mark. And Brisbane City have doubled their advantage at the Corporate Travel Management Stadium with a goal in the 56th minute. After an hour there, it's Brisbane City who leads Sunshine Coast Fire by 2-0, and that's a poor attempt by Duckworth. Cuba, Morian backtracking. Thompson does the work. Wagstaff. Hoa. Makwase with a clever little back heel for his teammate. Curling effort from Hoa. It was an attempt at a pass into the box. Madley was the nearest man in the proximity of where the cross was coming for. A little bit too fast for Marek Madley. And of course, around about this time last year, had a trial with Central Coast Mariners in the A-League. Didn't pan out for the noted marksman. Maybe there's another A-League club sniffing. Of course, Western United come into the A-League this year. MacArthur next season might open up some opportunities for additional NPL players from around Australia to find their way into the A-League. Boring away. Composure from Lions, Kim and Brindle South combine. United have possession back through Campbell. Thwaite. Wide is LeMay. That's where the ball comes, and then on for Miller. LeMay again. LeMay didn't get enough vehement on that, and there was a low skimmer for Boring that he had to take a second bite of the cherry with. LeMay. Kim, Makwase and Campbell, as with Smith. Chasing it down was Steele. Delivery takes a deflection. Gold Coast United corner. Smith slowly going over to deliver the corner for his side. Nodded on and punched away by Borean. Sharp chance coming in from Steele. Good reflex save. We saw one of those from Borean the other night against Peninsula Power. He may look lax in the Lions goal, but when he needs to, can liven up into action, Luke Borean. Possession starting to even back out. It's still going Lions' way, 59-41, but nowhere near the 67-68% it was in the first half. 15 shots to Lions, just the 4 for Gold Coast United. But Lions still not able to put Gold Coast United to the sword. A similar affair to Saturday night where Lions had all the running, but took a while for them to actually put Peninsula away. And indeed a last-minute scare with Dean Briggs scoring at the 90-minute mark, and looked like Peninsula might have been able to steal a point there at one stage, but Lions prevailed. Here's Hoare. Medley, and parried down by Dragicevic. Brindle South hassled out of it. Good win by Gold Coast. They've turned over possession, however, right on the halfway line. About to approach the midway point of this second half. Miller. In search of Cuba, cut out by Reardon. Thompson. Medley gets past Waite, who's looking for the free kick. He momentarily stopped, but play continues. Makwase. It's a Duckworth and then Hoare, and he couldn't beat Dragicevic. And away by the defender. In terms of scoring opportunities, it was just in a bit of a lull there for a while, but that's livened things up a little as Lions come again. Carlos! Across the face of goal, and Sean Carlos, who scored in the victory on Saturday night, backs it up with another goal here this evening. And Lions have hit the front for the first time in this match. Beautifully taken opportunity by Sean Carlos. Took it on the half volley. Across the face of goal. Perfect finish. Lions lead United 2-1. So Lions go ahead. Just over 20 remaining. Will Gold Coast United be able to fight back here? Scored against the run of play in the first half. Miller. Running onto it was LeMay. Continue on his run there, did Miller. Lions on the attack once more. Duckworth. The route continues for Olympic against Magpies Crusaders. It was Alex Smith who scored the 6th goal. And now they have a 7th through Jack Glover, his 2nd goal of the evening. And with under 20 to play there at Goodwin Park, Olympic on their way to another 3 points, comfortably leading Magpies Crusaders 7-0. And on the live ladder, Olympic remain in 4th place for the time being. And what do we got here? We've got a Lions player down in the background. Players are going to take an opportunity to get some hydration into them. Maybe get a quick team talk from their respective coaches. And of course, you can visit footballqueensland.com.au for all the latest NPL, NPLW, FQPL and community news from across the state. Gold Coast United about to make a change.
Substitution for Lions, number 9, Chris Hatfield, replaces number 17, Merrick.
Okay, so it's actually a Lions change with Chris Hatfield coming on in jersey 9. The first goal scorer for Lions FC tonight, Marek Medley, takes an early mark. Not a bad substitute to have up your hands. Chris Hatfield, first year at Lions after coming down the range from the Southwest Queensland Thunder. And there's a Norma, a former, is what I was trying to say, former Southwest Queensland Thunder player in clearing the ball away. Rolly Navarrete, thanks for joining us. Predicting a 3-1 win to Lions. Well, that second goal will help aid towards that target. Here's the new man introduced in Hatfield. Hatfield! And blazes high over the crossbar. Kim once again influential for his team this evening, as I said before. Made the NPL team of the week from round 16 with that outstanding effort against Peninsula Power on Saturday night. Lions adamant that it was their decision. Lauren Moon's a little bit more composed tonight than what he was on Saturday night at stages. Caught up with him in the pre-match and admitted he might have been a little bit more fired up than usual in that tense encounter on Saturday night. It's Makwase. Here's Makwase. Bangs it in for number 3. There you go, Riley Neverett. Your prediction's on track at the moment. Just over a quarter of an hour to play. And Lions have now skipped out to a 2-goal advantage. Jason Makwase, composure, lined up the keeper, and then put it away into the back of the net. And it's going to be a monumental fight back required now from Gold Coast United to try and force a result out of this match and try and remain in touch with the top 4. As I said before, 7 points off 4th coming into this game, and now with that result at Olympic, it'll be 10 points. And what will we have after this evening? Still another 12 matches to go. Not insurmountable, but just becomes that little bit harder for Gold Coast United to try and reach the final series of the NPL Queensland. Smith. Too far for Miller. Borean will just run around in his box. Cuba will keep him honest. And Borean has a few words to Cuba on the way through. A shake of the head. How dare you, young man? Would be Borean's reaction. Campbell. Sliding challenge by Kim. Thwaite gets to it first in front of Makwase. Mackay, only player booked in this match so far. Campbell. Smith. Goal kick here for Gold Coast United. It's a little bit ho-hum at the moment. Offside call against Lions. Sunshine Coast have made a remarkable comeback against Brisbane City. 2 goals in 4 minutes, and the Fire now equal with Brisbane City. 2-2 with 12 minutes remaining. Still 7-0 at Goodwin Park. Olympic over Magpies Crusaders with 10 remaining. Dragicevic. Brindle South. Makwase again the flag. Will go up against the Colombian. Looks like one of the Gold Coast United substitutes about to enter the fray, just stripping off the tracksuit. Free kick going United's way. Jared. Danny Kim. Duckworth. Dispossessed. Smith. Able to get a pass away. Corner here for Gold Coast United. They're still fighting hard here to the end of the visitors with just over 10 minutes remaining. And once again, Borean deemed to have been inconvenienced by Thwaite. Jared. Hoare. Hatfield. Holds it up for Hoare. Kim. Hoare once again. As Lions backtrack. All the way back to the keeper and Borean. Cuba cuts down the angle. The referees allowed that one to continue. Hatfield was looking for the free kick. Good hassling by Kim against Smith. Surely must be in the figuring at this stage for the NPL Player of the Year. Having an outstanding year. Here's the Lions FC man as they'll make their third and final change. It'll be Nathan Shepherd coming on in 11. And Joe Duckworth will be the man making way. Nathan Shepherd not in the matchday squad for that game against Power on the weekend. Good and bad news for the Magpies Crusaders. The good news is that they're on the board. The bad news is that they've conceded another. Olympic now lead 8-1 against Magpies Crusaders. 5 to play. Selfie Nasari, I should say, with the 8th goal for Olympic. Cade Starrett was the goal scorer for Magpies Crusaders. Can he run onto this Shepherd? It's just held up beautifully here for the Scotsman. Hatfield lays it back and couldn't hold it the first attempt, Dragicevic. Sean Carlos, the man who fired the shot away, but Dragicevic able to grasp the ball at the second effort. No free kick there, says the referee. Thompson goes in hard against Miller. Yeah, poor pass by that Gold Coast United player in Brandon LeMay. Threaded through for Kim. Can he get some well-deserved effort? Great in the lead-up for Lions' second goal on Saturday night against Peninsula. Hoa. Settle Mitch was the call, and that's what he's doing, just taking his time. Good win by Thwaite. Can it be a skipper's knock to get his side back into this game, and then just reels over in the delivery that he provided to Cian Cuba, and frustration sticks up the hand and says sorry. Down the line for Kim. Akwase is there, slides past him. Shepherd will be the man to go out and try and chase it back, but Kavanagh gets there first for Gold Coast United. He's now in the park as well. The Gold Coast United goal scorer Yabe on for Smith. Miller's in a bit of free room out on the left. They can get the switch on, but they just can't at the moment, being hemmed in here by the Lions FC defence. This might be more promising for the away side. Off the left foot, and a skimming effort that provides no test for Luke Borean. Well, as we said before, it's Australia's only national football-specific coaching conference. Coming your way on the Gold Coast on Saturday and Sunday. You can get your delegate pass today at ifca.com.au, ifcca.com.au. And that might be the last time you hear about IFCA on our live streams for 2019. Oh, and skimmed over the bar. Who was that? Is that Mitch Shaw? It was. Carlos. Kim, can you keep it alive there, Kim? Looked to be a rash challenge by Hall, but not in the mind of the referee. Hatfield. Looping around was Thompson, didn't need to come to him. In the end, Hatfield, under 5 to play. Carlos. Hoa. Michael Thwaite was protesting a little bit of time wasting from Sean Carlos. Brisbane City go ahead against Sunshine Coast Fire again. 2 to play there at the Corporate Travel Management. And City lead Sunshine Coast Fire by 3 goals to 2. Yeah, referee blows for the free kick Thwaite helps Carlos back to his feet. And Michael Thwaite becomes the second player in referee Beck Durko's notebook this evening. Dying stages of this round 17 NPL Queensland encounter. Full time at Goodwin Park, and the nightmare is over for Magpies Crusaders tonight, going down 8-1 to Olympic. So they're going to have to battle their way out of this corner here, Gold Coast United, because there's certainly plenty of orange shirts that are more than content to play down this end of the park and not let Gold Coast United out of there. Hoa. Is there time for a fourth? Makwase blocked by LeMay. Still time here for a Lions corner. Shepherd, will he just dance towards the corner flag? Still Brisbane City leading Sunshine Coast Fire 3-2 in stoppage time across the way at Newmarket. Provide any updates while we're still on air here as we are now into stoppage time. And again, the referee's whistle blows as a Lions player clatters into the advertising hoardings on the far side, and the Gold Coast player is booked. Might have been Wagstaff that time. So all three yellow cards dished out by Beck Durko. All gone Gold Coast way this evening. And Lions FC have had to battle from a goal down after Yunya Yabe scored in the 32nd minute against the run of play. The equaliser came from Marek Madley right on the stroke of half-time. 1-1, both teams going into the sheds. And then Sean Carlos scored midway through this second half. The lead extended by Jason Makwase in the 74th minute. And that's how it finished. Lions FC pick up another 3 points, move within 2 points at top of the table. Peninsula Power in a 3-1 victory over Gold Coast United in this round 17 match in the NPL Queensland. That's it from Lion Stadium. Brisbane City and Sunshine Coast still going. 3-2 City lead there. We'll wrap it up here from Lion Stadium. Another victory for Lions, their 13th of the season. Lucky number 13 for them. Lions FC have defeated Gold Coast United by 3-1. On behalf of all the team, it's Rafe Griffin signing off from Lion Stadium.